Hello everybody. Welcome to another week of profits, which was last week. I'm gonna be showing that to you today. We're gonna be talking about it. We're also gonna be looking at the situation right now with the markets. I think I am a little bit underexposed here. Let me see if I can do something. Give me 1 second. Let me just fix the exposure in the camera. There we go, much better. So, how are you guys today? How's everything going? Let's start by showing. Oh, hello, Erman. Hello, Erman. Let's start by showing last week's options. Let me open my MetaMask here. Here we go. We connect here to Synquote and Lira. Can you guys hear me well? Other than how it looks, does it sound good as well? Just let me know so we can fix any problems before we start. So, okay, let me switch the camera. Let's go to the desktop and camera. There we go. Move the chat like so a little bit. Okay, so let me show you the portfolio for last week. The camera needs to go this way. We currently have $79, $80 pretty much in profits, and this is for the last month. So $80 in profits the last month. It doesn't count movements that I've done in my wallet. So if I send some ETH from this wallet to another wallet, it only shows our profit and losses inside of Lira itself, which is good because before it was tracking pretty much like what tracking website does, like DBank or something. It was tracking the movement. So if you even if you were doing profitable trades, like all your trades were profitable with Lira, but you were sending that money somewhere else, it would have thought that there was a loss and count it. So the number was pretty much all over the place. So we have been positive for all of our trades for a long time now. So I believe since November. We can take a look at it right now. Yeah, so it goes all the way to last year. You can see last week we sold the 1900 call and we collected 100% profit. So 100% profit on all of those. This one right here it was a long position, so I bought a call because I was just testing. So very good track record for us. We've been doing really good. I also got some new strategies on how to use some tools, some data that we can find online. I'm going to be sharing that with you today. So we're going to be taking a look now at Synquote. Currently we have this. We're going to be talking about it in a little bit. Let's go to trades, and we did we did, let me hide the chat so you can see, we did a strangle last week as well. So we sold a call and we sold a put. So we made a short strangle, which got us profitable. A couple of people asked me when I posted this on Discord, on SyncQuote Discord as well, why such short position? Because as you know, I'm playing with the margin mode. So I'm trying to see, since I'm part of the team, I'm trying to force test it, test it to see how much, like how close I can get to get liquidated. What's the deal if I open both long and short positions at the same time? So I'm kind of being a like the meaning of the word beta tester is what I'm doing. I'm trying to break the thing in a good way. Not I'm trying to break the thing so we can fix it and launch it, which is going to be very soon, by the way. Launch it as the best margin leverage tool that we have in crypto options right now, which it will be, hands down it will be, because for every 1 or 2% that I can make here, I can almost double it on SyncQuote. So for this one, I've made 2.7, and last week for this position here on Lira, we've made, let's actually calculate it. It was 29.16. So 29.16, we'll divide this by the, what was it, 1600. It was 1.2. So I made 2.7 on SyncQuote. You can see how much difference it is. And I even sold crazy calls and puts. So it wasn't because I was trying to be riskier. No. So now that we have that out of the way, we also were profitable on our pool. The pool, by the way, we had to sell a 1500. So if we have the activity right here, we sold a 1500 strike just because the puts were very, very bad. Again, because our option pool right now is only on Optimism. It does not support Arbitrum. The hedge does not support Arbitrum so far. So all these trades, we've been doing it on Optimism for the hedge, which sucks because it has very low liquidity compared to, and very less strikes compared to Arbitrum, what Arbitrum has to offer. So if there are any questions about last week's trades, we can move on to this week's trades. When I woke up to very high volatility here, and I sold a put, a $1,400 put on SyncQuote. This is on SyncQuote. So I collected $45, and we are already we're over 50% in the profit right now. How much I collected? Let's see, 9 times 5. So I collected 45.35. If we divide that by the 1650 that we used as collateral, we've made 2.7 again. So this week, 2.7 again. I'm not going to be opening a strangle this week here on SyncQuote, just because I already used up all of my collateral. So we're not going to be doing this right here. If I had a little bit more money, or if I had, instead of opening 5 Ethereum short position, instead of, if I was using a 4 or 4.5 size contracts, I could then use that one contract or half a contract on the other leg. So selling a put, selling a call instead, since we sold the put. So this is already open for March 3rd, is already in the profit today. So it is already 50% in the profit today. Let me explain why. Because IV dropped so much. IV dropped so much. We saw a put, a 1400. I sold this IV. The IV that I sold this was like almost 90. So it was like, I think 89, or I think it was above, I think it was for sure above 85. So I think it was 89 or 88% IV, and it dropped so far. So even though Ethereum dropped as well, so Ethereum got actually close to my strike of 1400 because I sold it right in the morning. So I sold it, yeah, around the 1650 mark. It should have been in the red, but because IV dropped, like it dried up so much, which is what we want. We want to sell high IV, and we want it to drop. the premium itself collapsed so fast. Hello, Funny Toro, how are you doing? Welcome aboard. So on SyncQuote, we already have that fixed. We already have that out of the way. But if we look at Lira right here, we only have 4 strikes, which is ridiculous. Like very, very sketchy, very, very scary. I personally don't like to trade it like this when it is very, very close. Funny Toro asked a really good question. Will you be realizing the profit now, or will you wait for it to expire? So I'm not sure, just because today is the first day. I could close it, since on SyncQuote we don't have closing fees. We don't give you penalties if you close before or if you close at expiration. There's no penalties, there's no fees, which we do have those on Lira. On Lira, you do find these fees, closing fees, delta fees that are applied, which sucks because they eat up your premium, your profit, pretty much. So if this goes to, let's say, 35, maybe even 36 PNL, because I got 45. So if it goes to 35 by tomorrow morning when I wake up, then yes, I'm gonna close this one and try to roll it out, either to a further out of the money strike, just to get an extra premium, like an extra $10 in premium, or out of towards not next Friday, but the Friday after that, March 10th. So I either roll out further out of the money, or I roll out further in the future. Okay, I'll let you know what I choose according to the price that I close the position on. If tomorrow I wake up and it's deep, like it is almost 90% in a profit, then I'm just gonna close and I'm just gonna roll out to March 10th, because then I have more time that I don't have to look at the option anymore. But if it is 35-ish and I feel like closing it, then I just close it and roll still for March 3rd, but deep in the money, maybe like a 1300 or a 1200, if that's even a strike available. So before we start right here, I'm gonna show you some tools that I think I showed some of them right at the beginning of these live streams, right at the beginning of when I started making live streams about options on Sleep Money Club. I'm gonna show you how you can get a better chance of not losing money. Like, you can use data in your favor. You can use data to not precisely, because no one knows where the market's going to go, but to predict and increase your probability of profit, your POP. So how do we increase our POP? Here we do have Sleep Moneymaker that helps us a lot with his math, with his big brain, all the data that he has. And he gives us a range. The range is historically based. So what it means is that he gets data from the past, analyze it, and projects it to the future, and then he gives that to us. I'm gonna be letting you guys know the range that he gave us, because he's not gonna be available today as well. But I'm gonna let you know the range that he gave us. He gave us for this week. He sent it to me before he had to go offline. But I'm gonna show you another tool, so you don't need to rely on other people, because eventually we are gonna die, or we're just gonna get bored and disappeared, or I don't know, Sleep Moneymaker is gonna become a millionaire and he's not gonna be giving away his data for free, which is a smart thing to do. So let me look right here. Let me find it right here. He said, oh, by the way, he got 10 weeks straight. Like, Ethereum closed inside his range for 10 weeks straight. So on Twitter, you can go there and you can congratulate him for this amazing bot that he created, which has been spot on for 10 weeks straight. So he gave me the interval price for next week, for March 3rd, which is 1526 to 1748. So let me write it down for you. 1626 to 1748. So this is the range that we have for this week. Now, how can we improve this data instead of relying just with one data? Because of course, if you're a trader, you should know this by now. You don't rely on just one thing, right? You rely on multiple things, like multiple indicators, multiple support and resist. There's a huge analysis that needs to be done for you to be sure if you want to get into a trade or not. You're not just going to go look at the RSI. You're not just going to go look at the Bollinger Bands, whatever you're using, Heikin Ashi, whatever you're using. You're not just going to look at one, get a confirmation, an entry point, and then boom, I'm going to go in. No, you look at a variety of things. So I already showed you that you can see on Lyra, you can click on stats. You can click right here on stats and see the analytics for each individual vault or strikes, everything. Let me actually pull up this right here. We go to March 3, and on this one we go to Arbitrum mainnet. Okay, so let's start with the expiry here. We can see that the IV dropped significantly. So it dropped a lot. Do I want it hourly? Hourly is fine. Okay. So you can see the IV dropped so much and gamma went up a lot. So I've never talked about gamma as much here, but today we're going to be looking at gamma as a very nice indicator. Very, very nice indicator. You can see that the call prices dropped. The implied volatility per strike, which depending if you already know or not what strike you're going to choose, this is useful. But I usually just go for a complete IV, like a generalized IV, which is this one right here. So it doesn't look good for us sellers. We don't want to sell low IV. This is why I sold this morning when it was high IV. So I sold this morning high IV, 62 IV. It was over 50, which is what we like. But now it dropped to an average of 47, which is not good for us. We don't want it to be that low. So if we go to vaults, we can see that these vaults are being utilized way more efficiently than the vaults in Optimism are. So Optimism now has been pulling way less volume and way less trading than Arbitrum has since Lyra got the new port update on Arbitrum, but it has been more utilized. Why? Because now on Arbitrum we have, or Lyra has the opportunity of getting more liquidity and neutralize their position, neutralize their LP losses, whatever, by using perpetuals. So they're using GMX, they're using G-Trade, whatever perpetual they have the access to, they can go there, connect their treasury, connect their vaults, and neutralize these positions. So they don't lose. Their P&L is supposed to be positive forever, pretty much, if they have a really good strategy team, data team that analyzes their losses and their profits and can delta neutralize the strategy. And you can see that the projected LP position, the projected performance for the LPs, the providers, is 32%, which is amazing, by the way, but I don't think it will stay this high, just because right now we are seeing inflated numbers. Everyone wants to go to Arbitrum. Arbitrum is very hyped. And as Funny Toro says, Arbitrum is giving so much more premium just because there's everyone wants to be on Arbitrum right now. That's the hype about it. So, but anyways, we will see for sure this LP being positive every year. After this even if I don't like their strategy of being an AMM, so being having their own liquidity, by using perpetuals, they made sure that they are not going to run out of money because people are being too profitable trading. Okay, because if I'm making money, LPs should be losing money. because if I'm a good seller and I collect premium weekly, means that the other guys, the guys providing liquidity, they are the buyers here in the situation, and they should be losing money every time from the liquidity pool, which is not happening because now Lira can neutralize these positions with perpetuals. But this creates things that are called gamma squeeze, because they need to neutralize the position. They need to make sure they don't lose money, they don't lose treasury, they don't lose providers, because if the providers are losing money, they're just gonna run away, take the money and run away. So we can see a very, very good data. We can analyze really good data right here from Ember data. Ember data. I think I'm pronouncing it right. They used to be called GVol before. Now they're called Ember data. Let me send the link right here. If you go to you click right here, you can go to Deribit or you can go to Global, whatever. I'm gonna be using Deribit because Lira and SyncQuote have pretty much centralized exchange values, premiums. Sometimes they're a little bit inflated, but the data is very close. So we can still use Deribit data to analyze our entries on Lira or SyncQuote, because it's even more accurate sometimes, because we have more people, like 99% of all liquidity and all options are done on centralized exchanges, on Bybit, on Bit.com, on Delta Exchange, on Deribit, whatever it is. So if you go on Deribit and click on historical Ethereum, you're gonna see this page right here. If you scroll down all the way, you're gonna see this one that we're gonna be talking about later, and this one right here. We're gonna be focusing on this one. So this is the gamma level data chart. Gamma level data chart. A little bit of a tongue twister here, but we want to focus on strikes, on the strike that we're gonna sell. So we're gonna sell a March 3rd strike. So we go right here, and we don't need to know any other data right here. We just need to know this right now. This is what we need to look for. And now I'm going to teach you how to use this to have a very precise support and resistance for your options. You're going to get this, and this will also be another range for you to use with Sleep Moneymaker's strategy range that he gives. So what is the range that we're looking for? We're looking for positive gamma. We're looking for spikes in gamma, because when there's huge gamma, it means that delta, because gamma affects delta. If you don't know what I'm talking about Greeks, and gamma affects delta, and delta affects the premium itself. So when there's a spike in delta, when there's a spike in gamma, delta is gonna spike as well, and it is exponential. It is exponential. So when there's a spike in gamma, delta would also move fast, and because it will move fast, liquidity providers or market makers or exchanges, protocols, they need to neutralize their position, because protocols, Deribit or Lira or SyncQuote not really, but the market makers that are part of SyncQuote, they are SyncQuote's market makers, they do need to protect their positions. So they're going to hedge. And where they're going to hedge right at these gamma spots. So when you see high gamma, when you see positive gamma, these are, I think, let me pull up the tweet right here. Hans Solar, a really smart trader, he made a really big thread about it. Really good thread. Let me pull it up right here. He explained it way better. Okay, so positive gamma act as price repellents, and negative gamma acts as price lubricants, meaning that if there's negative gamma, price of Ethereum, in our case Ethereum, is just gonna slide through that range. It's gonna slide through because there's negative gamma, so it won't find any resistance moving across these that little range. But if you see positive gamma, it will be price repellent, just like a support and just like resistance. So how we can find those, let me show that to you again. I will leave a link to this tweet right here. Let me actually copy it and paste it on our chat. And Funny Toro says, have you heard of Foxify? MDB's upcoming decentralized crypto options trading. Something to stay atop, as will be a big player think in the coming months. No, I have not heard of Foxify. Let me save it right here so I can look at it later. They do. I hope this is what you're referring to from Make DeFi Better. Let's see if they have any docs or anything, because from what we can see, they are a P2P trading. I don't know if they will have options as well. Not much to go for here. No, not much data here for us to analyze. Let's see if we have well, I'll keep an eye on these. MDB did not have much success, in my opinion. They did have huge volumes, but not really. Like MDB, I even made a video right at the beginning, I think November 2021, about them. It was a sponsored video. So after that, I did not keep up much with MDB, and I know they had their ups and downs. But let's see. If it is a P2P trading, it needs to be good because it will be over the counter, and over the counter options tend to be a little difficult to achieve, both in TradFi, so I can imagine will be even harder in DeFi. And if options will be their phase 2, as you're saying, then we're looking at way into the future. And by then we have other protocols that are already live right now and have huge uphand because they've been before. Not talking other than Lyra or Synquote. There are new protocols that are popping up day by day, options protocols. So it will be a challenge for them to wait until a phase 2 to try to get a market share of options here in DeFi. But we will see. Now, let's go back to our delta, our gamma charts. Now that we know that negative delta are lubricants, so they make the price should smoothly go away from these negative deltas, but they need to stay repelled. But positive gammas, they do repel these. They do act as support and resistances. So now we know by looking at this that by the 3rd, so March 3rd, we have these two big support and resistances. We have the 1650 as a top resistance, a ceiling, and we have the 1500 as support. So we have 1500 as support, and we have the 1600 and the 1550 as negative delta. So Ethereum should be able to just go up and down inside these because there's negative delta, and it should be stopped by the 1650 gamma and the 1500 gamma. So this is another range, and if we use this range with what SMM, Sleep Moneymaker, gave us, which is 1526 to 1748, then we can see how accurate it is actually. So his data, even if it is just historical data from charts, using gamma data with projected, so expiration by expiration, we can see that they're kind of close, and this is even better for us to know which options to sell. So for me, it should be below the 1500, which I did on Synquote. I sold the 1400, which we don't have on Lyra, unfortunately. We only have the 1500 here, but it should be above 1650, right? 1650. So this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I want it to be above, actually above 1700, because we have the range from Sleep Moneymaker as well. So let's take a look at what we have to work with right here. We have, we have the 1500, which is a 17 delta. And we have on the call side the 1800, which is a 9 delta. So it's about to disappear right now. In just a little bit, it will disappear from the trade tab. So we have a 17 delta and a 9 delta. So calculating the probability of profit, the probability of profit of this one is 87%, because 13 is the inverse. 13 is the probability of it not being profitable. So 87% chance of profit here, probability of profit. And for this one, we have a 93% chance of profit, probability of profit with this one. But if we look right here, our premiums have a huge difference, because here we have a 55 IV, very low, and here we have a 62 IV, so very high. But again, this could be considered a little bit risky, which I think is what Sleep Moneymaker sold. Let me actually check on Discord here to see what he sold, because he opened a position. I'm gonna be sharing that with you. I didn't even ask. I forgot to ask if I was if I could let you guys know which position he got into, but he got into a 1500 put as well. So we're gonna be looking at the 1500 as well. And we also have to look at the charts, okay? Because data is important, and you have to track these support and resistances, and looking at the chart as well. So let's do that before we try and speculate in the markets right now. So the RSI is very close to the bottom, so I don't think we should see it drop a little bit more. I think it should stay above the 1500s. 1500 should be right here. We have this support. We have a support right here as well, a little bit. Let me actually add this horizontal ray across this. Yeah, the 1500 is a little bit risky, but what we can do is we can close it before, like close it for a little loss, instead of having to take a full loss right on. What do you guys think? Are you guys looking at puts? Are you guys looking at calls? I love to have some feedback here from what are you guys thinking for this week. Right now, I'm very tempted to go with the 1500 as well, just because of the range, the range that we have announced. Let's take a look. Okay, now it got up in price. Let's take a look again. Let's run the numbers here with this. There we go. So a 1407 liquidation. How far is that? 12%. Okay, so liquidation of 12%. If I go for this, for contracts, and I get 52. 52 is really good, to be honest. So let's calculate 50 to 44. Divide this by 1680. Wow, we would make 3% this week, which is more than we would make with Synquotes, but Synquotes is 1400 strike. Funny Toro says, I'm thinking of selling a put and a call with half allocation on each. Okay, so you're gonna make a short strangle, which is what I was doing last week. So you're giving it, when you sell a short, when you sell a put and a call, you pretty much create a tunnel, a range like this right here. This one is a short strangle. So as long as Ethereum stays inside this, you are profitable. If it closes right here, if it closes right here, it doesn't really matter. So if you do this strategy, is a short strangle, which if you believe in the range, if you know you're going to be profitable, if you know Ethereum is going to be slowing down, it's going to be sideways, the strangle is very profitable. Last week I shared that I did a strangle that was 5% profit. So 5% in profit for that strangle. Now the premium just dropped again a little bit. Oh, I think because it disconnected from my wallet. Let me try to connect again. So I think this is a good strategy. 3%. Let's take a look at these calls right here. If with the call I can make above, if with the call I can make above 1.5%, I think I'm just gonna stick with the call, just because of I don't want it to be too risky, at least for my portfolio. I already risked it with the Synquote, so I can go a call and a put, a call on Lira and a put on Synquote. I would have pretty much a virtual strangle, because I will be short put on one side and short call on the other side. Let's run these numbers again. Let's go 1680. How many do we go here? 4? No. 3.6. No, it needs to be 3. Okay, so this is not going to be worth it, I can already tell, just because if we go 1186 now, even less, we divide this by 6080, yeah, 0.7, so not even worth looking at this. We're going to go for the puts again, which just spiked in price one more time. I personally wish we had a 1450 here, because okay, I don't want to be very safe and go for the 1400 on Arbitrum, but I would like to have a delta like 11 or a delta like 13, 14 more or less. Let's run these numbers again. 1680 collateral. What was it for? 3.9, 1388, very good liquidation. Liquidation price. You go back here, we have the 1500 has this delta. Today the 1500 has 40 gamma. Okay, let me explain why I'm looking at this this other gamma chart instead of this one at the bottom right here. So this gamma chart is for today. This is our current gamma levels. This right here is the projected gamma levels for the third. Okay, so I'm looking at this right now because it will show me pretty much what are the chances of Ethereum today getting close to the to the 1500, which now I'm a little bit better off. I'm a little more tempted of selling the 1500 instead of waiting for a 1400 or a 1450 to show up, because the 1600 is really strong. So it means that we're 1612 right now. It means that at this range, the 1600 range, we have loads of positions waiting because of the high gamma. So there's a lot of market makers, there's a lot of protocols waiting to get in long, because they need to protect themselves. They need to neutralize their their users' positions. Okay, so that makes me a little bit less concerned. We run these numbers again. It will be 5302, 5305, 5305. Divide this by 1680. That's at 3.1%. That is an amazing return for our money. So let's do this in the hopes that IV goes down. If we go down right here, let's go to the IV for the $1,500. The IV got I don't think this IV is correct right here. Oh, or maybe it's projected. Okay. I'll let you guys know. But anyways, we are getting a 3% by doing this strategy. We have a liquidation price of 1388, which is good because I don't think Ethereum will reach 1388. But again, if it starts to drop close to my 1500, then I just close the position. So like if it goes to, let's say 1560, then it goes to 1550, then I close the position, or I partially just close the position and see if it goes up again. So we can see that the number keeps going up, which is good for us because we can open a position right now, get more premium, get more yield, and in hopes that Ethereum doesn't fall. So for the Bollinger, it is right here at the end of the Bollinger Bands. But if we look at the daily chart, the RSI at the daily chart, it seems that it wants to go down more for a little bit. Go all the way to the 43. 43. Okay, let's risky. Let's go with the 15. Let's go with the 1500. We'll sell this put right here, and we'll keep you guys updated. If I close the position early, if I close it for a loss, I'll do another live stream to close the position live. 52 in gas. Wow, very expensive today. Usually it is around like 19 to 23. Okay, so we open a position. We are, of course, negative because of the spread, but we have our position. So let's mark it right here on our charts. Let's mark it right here. We have, let me duplicate this a couple of times. Clone. And it goes all the way to right here. So we have the 1500 on Lira, and we duplicate this, clone this, and we make it 1400 on Syncquote. So we have, I'm gonna lock it up so we don't make any mess here. So we have the, on SyncQuote, we are 13% out of the money, and on Lira we are 6.8% out of the money. So a little bit riskier on Lira. We're the 1500. Again, if I'm gonna close it, I'll let you guys know. On SyncQuote, we're very safe. We got 2.7% without risking it. The delta right now, it should be very low. We can even check it right now. What's the delta for the 1400? We're gonna sell a put March 3rd, 1400. Yeah, 6 delta. So we're not losing, we're not having any risk with the 1400 here on SyncQuote. The 1500 here has a 17 delta, just like on Lira. Premium pretty much identical, pretty much close, so we didn't lose any spread from one to the other. And I guess this is it. We've done our positions here. Let's take a look at on Optimism. What do we have here for our strategy? So we are connected on Optimism, manage the pool. Take a look at Lira. The other day we had the same issue. Last Friday we had the same issue, but I was eventually able to connect. I was just refreshing this page over and over and over until we could connect the wallet. I'm gonna try to connect my mine, which is not right. Anyways, let's take a look at here on what we have. Yeah, we only have 3 right now. The 1800 is gone. The 1500 has a 13 delta. Okay, so you can see what Funny Toro mentioned, that the yield right here is completely off, but the delta as well is completely off. So if we were able to do this, we had like, we can go 1850 right here. 3 contracts, no, 4 contracts. We will get $20 for our 1850 deposit. So 2073 for our 1850. We will be making 1.12, which for our pool is amazing. I'll try to do it later after the live stream, just because I'm not able to connect the wallet right now, as you can see, which is a pain in the ass. Again, for DHedge, points down every time, points down to DHedge. But anyways, I think this is the live stream for today. I hope it was insightful. For news, I have some news that I want to share. I'm gonna be focusing on creating a Discord for options. I know if you're part of the Sleep Money Club, you already see me there. You already see me talking about options, but it will be focused on crypto options. A Discord for myself talking about crypto options, and I think I just had a frame lag here. It will be a Discord with me, with Sleep Money Maker, if he wants to join. For whoever wants to join, it will be you will have the free side, you will have the premium side for people who want to get in, and they will have access to my course, which will be included. I'm gonna start working on it next week, and it's gonna be I'm working on putting bots alert prices for this yield right now is very safe. You can make very safe profits out of this. Of course, not financial advice, but it will be something that I personally would sell. I personally would get into the position. So it is up to you to get in or not. kind of like a signal room, but not a signal room, because it will be just a bot calculating delta, calculating these gamma ranges, calculating the best premium to delta difference, all these sort of things. So it will be very, very huge. It will start off slowly because I don't have how to invest a lot of money into it. I just have to invest a lot of time and hope that people find these topics interesting. So I'm hoping on your help on this end as well. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for always being part of these live streams. These were the news, and I'll catch you guys next time, next Friday, or maybe next Monday if we close the position early. Okay, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Peace.